Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 1029. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Morning, Vancouver.
Chris in Edmonton.
And Sarah in Ottawa.
Hello, Sarah. Sarah in Ottawa is joining us because we didn't feel we've been Canadian enough over the past
Bring on more CanCon.
few weeks, so we had to bring her on. Real truth, though. Warren is going to be away this week, and that he wasn't.
Thanks to Air Canada and their labor troubles.
And so we arranged for Sarah to be the third, and then Warren canceled, obviously, but we couldn't say no to having Sarah back.
Rescheduled, didn't cancel.
Yeah, that's true. We couldn't say no to having Sarah back on because she's one of our favorite Canadians.
I claim squatters' rights.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty much there. I mean, you know, you're Canadian, so that grants you like almost immediate status to being guest on the show again. How you doing, though, Sarah? How's life treating you these days?
Living in this world is hard.
Oh,
Yes, quite so.
that's true. That is true. What are your? We haven't heard what you thought about Doctor Who. What are your thoughts on Doctor Who? It's the show and the franchise in
How can
general.
it be fixed? How can you specifically fix it?
Yeah. What's your thoughts and feelings on that?
Is it broken, though?
I'm so glad that I've been asked. I like Doctor Who, and I think it should continue.
Okay, there we go. That's controversial, but I'll tell you this. Looks like the BBC agrees with you. I will tell you that's add that and more to come on this episode of Radio Free Skaro. We will also tell you that I'll apologize right now for the extended length of this episode because I just feel like we're going to banter forever, and there's a 66-minute Miniscope on Jamie Magnus Stone Part 3 coming up at the end of this, talking about Doctor Who Flux, his 3 episodes of Doctor Who Flux, the Halloween Apocalypse, War of the Sontarans, and Village of the Angels, all coming up later on in this episode of the podcast. But I alluded to it. It's amazing how, even though there's no Doctor Who being made right now, or indeed being shown, that news continues to be made by the BBC themselves because they keep talking about it. So they're at the Edinburgh TV Festival recently, this past week. The new BBC Chief Content Officer, Kate Phillips, who of course replaced Charlotte Moore, Doctor Who champion Charlotte Moore in the role, said at the festival that the BBC is I love the quote, "The TARDIS is going nowhere," which is the opposite of what the TARDIS should do.
It does. Somewhat negative, even though I know it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, I know. I know what she meant. She probably meant it's going nowhere. But I see what you mean. But yeah, the TARDIS is going nowhere. Going forward, with or without Disney, the Doctor Who will still be on the BBC. So there we go. She also dropped in the odd little nugget that the War Between the Land and the Sea will air next year, when all proof and such has been leading to it airing in December or the fall of this year. But anyway, all your thoughts on these two one sentences that have basically set Doctor Who news alight.
Well, I'm curious. Sorry, I'm curious, Stephen, if the fact it's going out next year, if that changes your opinion about everything getting dumped in one day, or do you think it's going to be over 5 days, 5 weeks?
I have changed my opinion on that, but before I say it, Sarah, do you have opinions on these statements at all, or thoughts?
They can say it as much as they want. It's completely free to say. And as far as it getting dumped, I suppose it's better to have it going out in January than December. There's so much in December, especially from Disney and the BBC. I would like it now, though.
Because you got nothing else on the go. Yeah, let's. Yeah. It's in the can. I mean, you're obviously having it made.
Exactly. That's the thing. If I was like, oh, they only wrapped filming this 2 weeks ago, I would understand. But I'm reminded of when when Kill Bill came out, and I had friends in high school who were like, I know the second one exists. Why are you making me Why are you making me wait a year?
Right, because they filmed like it all in one. Oh, this is too long for one movie. Let's just put it as two. But you're going to have to wait for the second. Yeah.
And now Tarantino has a cut of both together with added footage that he says may never come out on home video. He only shows He only shows it in his cinema in L.A.
Oh, with the New Beverly, yeah. Well, whatever. It's his movie. He can do what he wants.
What about you, Warren? You got any
I agree with Sarah. Like, I think Percy Jackson is going to be this giant juggernaut that they don't want nothing to get in the way of. Yeah. And also the BBC, has got tons of Christmas stuff and a bunch of stuff I've never heard of that will be a big deal. So you don't want I keep saying the war against the land and sea, which I would watch. Right. You don't want that to get buried. And also January is traditionally a bit of a garbage dump for movies and TV. So why not shunt it off to January? I'm assuming it's January. They haven't actually said. It could be summer for all I know, 2026.
Yeah. Part of me thought like, okay, well, this is a chief content officer. And part of me was thinking like this thing about next year. And I had to think like, were they speaking in financial speak? Is she talking next calendar year, or is she saying next fiscal year? Because this part sort of entered into me, but I do feel like
what's the BBC fiscal year end?
I have no idea, but I think I didn't know where the quote came from when I first heard it, and then I saw that it was from the TV festival. If it was from a business meeting, and then I would have thought, well, let's pull back on this. My thought on it is that I think it always has been for December, but I think Disney has, lost its interest and confidence in Doctor Who, and it's sort of running up the clock, and was just going to dump it in December. I think, given what like Tom Spilsbury said this on last week's show, that Pete McTighe said this is turning out better than we actually thought. Russell T Davies is sort of saying, wait a minute, I think we might have something a little better here. I think the BBC has actually gained a little more confidence in it, that they don't want it buried anymore. And now I'm thinking maybe they want, well, let's listen. Disney doesn't care when they show it quite clearly. We said we want to drop it on Saturday mornings in the UK for season 2. And they said, okay, fine, sure, whatever. And I think the BBC might have just said, we want to air this in January now. And maybe Disney said, sure, fine, whatever. Like you said, Warren, they've already got Percy Jackson coming on December 10th.
And presumably other stuff too.
Other stuff too, but that's the big one because all the it's pretty huge with the young kids, the young adults. So I'm feeling maybe now that it might be going out over 5 weeks again in January this time.
5 weeks, not 5 days.
Not 5 days. It won't be 5 days.
That would be great if it actually went out over 5 weeks and it allowed it to build an audience.
Right.
Especially if it's good and you get more enthusiasm and have to wait week to week to do it. Yeah.
BBC's year end is March 31st. So if they mean next fiscal year, then it'll be April 1st onward. Otherwise, next calendar year could be who knows what.
Yeah.
My big concern is, if this is the last straw in the Disney thing and nothing can happen until after this goes out, then delays of this going out are bad. Because if the BBC can't do anything until after the Disney partnership is formally severed,
right,
and that doesn't happen until after this goes out, then it could be months and months before anything happens. Greenlighting, production, writing, whatever. Actually, writing, thankfully, RTD is ahead of the game there.
You can do, or any...
I was listening to the Spilsbury interview last night, and I was thinking, if this Disney thing is just, a blip in the history, then is there going to be a time where it's like, oh yeah, those 3 years of Doctor Who are co-owned by Disney, so forget getting the rights to them.
Oh yeah, good point.
I had thought about,
except in the UK.
Except in the UK. I mean, this is here's the thing. I can't remember if I've said this in an interview, or if it was after an interview when it wasn't recording, or if it was this podcast before or after recording, or most controversially, an actual conversation in real life, because apparently people still have those.
Disgusting.
What's real life?
I don't know, but and now I've forgotten what point I was going to make. But I think I legitimately. Is it? I mean, this is Disney, of course, made Willow, publicized Willow, saw the returns on Willow after week 1 and canceled Willow and pulled it off their service. Just because something is, on the service doesn't mean it's going to be there in perpetuity or to the end of its window,
including first party property. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think if and when the Disney deal ends, and the BBC wants to pull those 26 episodes of content off Disney and put it on wherever they're going to put it later, I think that negotiations could be made. There's also the thing about maybe, the delay is also kind of like, well, we might have something in place, but it's going to take a few more weeks or months than we thought. So let's kick this to December, to 2026. There's also the thing of like, hey, at least we'll have content in 2026 so that when, maybe we get something back for the CBeebies version in 2027, we at least have had Doctor Who something every single year since 2005. Not that they're like, doing that for aesthetics reasons or something like that. But
we've faced long waits like this before too, just with the BBC. So
we have. I mean, this is going to be the longest wait, let's face it, because nothing is in production right now at all. And
true, yeah.
And we don't even know if Bad Wolf is a part of things anymore either. So it's it's all up in the air. So really,
didn't that deadline thing say that they are?
Well, they're in. But
they're talking about stuff that's already been shot.
Exactly. Yeah. So who knows? So basically, the entire hopes and dreams of the Whoniverse lies on the shoulders of the war between the land and the sea, a.k.a. Twiblats, a.k.a. what someone I have seen calling it surf and turf.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah. Although it's turf and surf really is what it should be, because land and sea in that order. So maybe we should call
it's important to pedant that, yes.
Yeah, we should call it turf and surf from now on, so people know what we're talking about. So
I saw somebody calling it just the war between, and my brain translated that into Dave Matthews' The Space Between, and that's all I can hear now.
Lots of people are doing that, and that's wrong too. That's probably the worst thing.
It's wrong. Yeah. I don't like it being in my brain, but now it's in all of yours.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I listen to Hollywood writer podcasts, and inevitably when somebody has worked on a show, they refer to it by like the first name, and it's so irritating. It's just this weird Hollywood shorthand that they all know, and they're all like chummy about, and it's just like, oh, just stop talking, like, please.
Oh yeah, I was hanging out with Bob Redford and Bob De Niro.
Exactly. Yeah. They do with names too, but specifically with shows. Yeah. Like I don't know.
The war between at least is what all the execs are referring to it as. So that's
and it is a long, stupid name. So
that is their shorthand, and yeah, it's a nine word name, so it's
not a terrible name, really. It tells you exactly what's inside the tin.
Yeah, there's only one long word, so.
What if most of it's in the air? Ha-ha!
The entire series takes place on balloons. That's where it's going to actually be.
It's actually just the show from the 70s, Baba Black Sheep. That's all it is.
All the action's on the ground. They just shoot it with drones from 100 feet in the air.
There you go.
Listen, well, how much TV is shown?
It's incredibly innovative.
See that you can't see.
Yeah. Russell Tovey, by the way, mentioned it somewhere. I can't remember where he was, but climate change apparently is going to play a big factor in the storyline of this. So watch out! It's going to go woke, everyone. Climate change.
Oh no!
Climate change. Only liberals care about
Doctor Who
climate
has
change.
Never discussed climate change.
Never.
Before.
Or been woke. Ever.
No, not once. Not once. Even though 1973, the Green Death.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yep. So anyway,
Seeds of Doom.
And the Seeds of Doom. We will wait and see. Orphan 55, obviously. Most successfully, probably. And we'll see when war between
definitely most successfully.
War between will indeed air, and indeed, if the TARDIS is going nowhere with or without Disney. So interesting stuff. Y'all ever play the any Doctor Who games on the DoctorWho.tv website?
Well.
I do. I play that 13 game. I'm back on that again, which is it's where you have to move the Doctors
the 2048 clone.
Yeah, that one. They call it 13, but they've added the War Doctor in there, and presumably what?
I was not informed.
Yeah. Well, because I know you do the little sliding thing, the 2048 game, and and you become different. You know, you know what I'm talking about. Presumably, they probably added the Joe Martin Doctor in there too, but I've never gotten far enough into that game to find out. I've only gotten as far as Eccleston. Anyway, there's a new game on there. It's Sweeping the Nation. That's not a pun, but it could be. I know. I didn't even think about it. Pun not intended, literally. It's called Polish. You can help Scoot pick up the Dr. Belinda and the Star Certificate, as well as doing some polish along the way. I'm disappointed in this game.
Because it's barely a game?
It was barely a game.
Stephen now writing for EGM.
Disappointed in this.
This is a fun coding exercise.
Yes, that's a good point.
Maybe that's what it's basically. Pac-Man, if no one's chasing you and there's no punishment for you doing it slowly. Basically,
it does look like the kind of thing that, just to really date myself, that's the kind of, and Chris will get this, that's the kind of thing you type out of a magazine as a program and then run and then go, why doesn't it work? I typed everything right. That's what it reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've only played it, I think, 2 or 3 times. I don't know if I've had a high score. It doesn't really tell you what the high score is. Well, it tells you what you're like, here's how many moves you made, but it didn't tell you like, oh, you could have done it in quicker. And then you just get your star certificate at the end anyway. So I feel like the reward isn't worth, I'm not going to call it the trouble, because it's not really that much of a trouble, but
I will give it this. The little cutie pixel versions of the Doctor and Belinda and Scoot are quite adorable.
Scoot, yeah. And there's for a second there, like because there's little splotches of stuff on the floor. I thought I was supposed to avoid those at first, but no, you are actually supposed to polish those.
Me too.
Up. Yeah.
I thought they would kill me.
Right?
And they don't. Nothing kills you in this game.
Nothing kills you in this game. There's no danger.
I think I killed the Doctor and Belinda though by scooting them.
No, you apparently you don't though. Apparently you don't. I thought, isn't that at the end of the Robot Revolution? Isn't the Scoot like clean up that incel guy? He was the villain of the piece.
Think so? Yeah, I think so.
And so, I guess
I call that justice.
Well, apparently it's happening now in video game form. So if you like it,
Steven, are you saying that this game doesn't match the universe laid out in the show?
It's not canon. It's not canon, Sarah. That's the problem.
There's no such thing.
I sure hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
I hope so. I hope this is like their last move as they're pushed out the door. Failure.
What if they had pitched this incredible 3D amazing VR experience and this is what they showed him? Oh, here you go. That's not what he asked for. Well, gotta go.
I mean, Warren, let's face it. This is closer to like what they could come up with for games in the multicam era. So maybe this is a hint saying, listen, we're going to make video games that look like they're from 1980 because
or it's some summer intern's project. That's probably what it is.
No, because the show is going to go back to being made like it's in 1980. We're going to get
that's canon either.
We're going to get Christopher H. Bidmead. He's going to be script editor again, 86-year-old Christopher H. Bidmead, and we're going to do it studio on the beach at first. It's going to be a leisure hive. Basically, Doctor is going to be a leisure hive. We're going to do it.
What an amazing world you live in, Stephen.
It's great. It's so great.
So I hadn't played this because my ad blocker wouldn't let me. But
turn off your ad blockers, kids. Yeah,
loaded it up in a different browser and just played it in 85 moves or some such. And
wow, well
this
done.
Star Certificate thing is pretty basic. It doesn't even have today's date. If you want to add
blender.
If you want to add a name, it's like, print it out and then add your own name.
You got to write on it.
Hey, but if you're a kid who's going to play this, that is the kind of thing you'd want to do, is write in your own name to make it real.
Yeah,
right?
but there should be like some sort of web form so you can put John Smith on the thing and then print it out.
You should type it out. Yeah. I feel like you should.
So many blunders. God.
I guess so.
Why hasn't Doctor been canceled over this?
Well,
and has anyone cross-checked these Orion coordinates to know if they're accurate?
That's a good question.
What are we teaching our children if they're not?
Let's get to the Very Large Array right now and in New Mexico and check this out. See if it's accurate or not.
Done.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
Links in the show notes. DrYahoo.tv, though, is where you can find this and other games. Here's an interesting thing, kids. So if y'all go over to the iPlayer website in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and there's Doctor Who obviously there on the Whoniverse, and you click on a whole bunch of different episodes and it says, available for over a year over there. If you go to An Unearthly Child, it's not there at all, of course. If you go to season 12, a whole bunch of episodes say that they are available for 2 months. That being all of Robot, The Ark in Space, the Sontaran Experiment, and Revenge of the Cybermen. Not Genesis of the Daleks, which comes in between Sontaran and Revenge of the Cybermen. Available for 2 months. Clerical Error or Strange Things Afoot. What do you think?
Doesn't make any sense because the BBC owns Lock, Stock, and Barrel, the rights to this.
Yeah.
So.
The Dalek story is usually the odd one out in the bad way.
Yeah.
Not in a good way this time.
Like it actually missing or something, yeah.
The rights to Daleks stuff no longer being owned by the Terry Nation estate probably benefits that, but it's weird.
Yeah, is there any connective tissue between?
Wiped.
Yeah, there you go.
They're scheduled for deletion in 2 months' time. Well, the original masters will be wiped, so enjoy them now.
Pamela Nash.
It's a hostage situation. All right, Disney, if you don't renew this contract, and they're like, who are you again?
What show is this? We're going to wipe the original masters. You're going to have to hope for some, Telecity off-air copies.
Okay, click.
Yeah. Very odd. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. So 2 months. I mean, it's never like they don't give exact dates until basically, it's time. So we'll see maybe at the end of this is August, September, end of October, to see what the deal is, and to see also if anything's affected on the fast channels available outside of the UK, like on Pluto and Tubi and stuff like that, to see if there's any change to this. Is this a way of driving up sales for the original first collection Blu-ray, which is what season 12 was? I mean, Blake 7 disappeared from BritBox a few months ago. I'm not even sure it's on iPlayer anymore, actually, perhaps because of the same way. Maybe they want to drive up sales for the collection. Is Blake 7 on there? Yeah.
Wouldn't they have to have an interest in actually selling the DVDs and Blu-rays to do that? Like, they don't make it easy, is what I'm saying.
No.
If you're going to take it off, go like, it's no longer available on iPlayer. Click this link to buy it.
That'd be a great way, wouldn't it?
It'd also be very odd to go, okay, we're just going to get rid of streaming and we're going back to DVD. It seems counterintuitive.
We've heard what that small pocket of the internet is saying about collecting physical media.
And I'm probably part of that small pocket, really.
Yeah. And you're right. We are just going to get rid of it all. Yeah.
Apparently, Best Buy is reversing its decision about no longer selling physical media because they are going to start up again.
Are you serious? This is the best news I've ever heard.
I read that yesterday or the day before someplace.
Please tell me it was a reputable link.
I couldn't give you a citation. I could try to find it later, but apparently they've decided that streaming is no longer the sole answer, and they're going back to selling physical stuff, which is good. You found this a little while ago, Stephen. Have you checked other seasons?
I did. I have checked. I checked, for Warren's sake, I checked all 42 episodes of the Sylvester McCoy era. And just make sure that and they're all, other episodes, even the like older stuff, newer stuff, it was there. Only those 4 stories were 2 months away.
I wonder if that's just an error.
Well, you think that, but we thought that for the 2 Robert Banks Stewart stories, Terror of the Zygons and Seeds of Doom, and they're not back. So I don't, and all the 4 stories that we've quoted were written by different people. Although Robert Holmes wrote like 3 of them essentially, but so it's not like the traditional cause, which is Demented Sons of former Doctor Who writers.
A sentence I will never be tired of.
Which of course, is why no one can watch the very first story ever again, unless they give money to Russia. So who knows? Who knows? But hopefully now, by bringing this to people's wider attention, some of the BBC will go, oh, that's why it's October. Oh, okay, no. And
more blunders to fire people for.
Yeah, clicks the thing. And, sorry, I was busy playing the new Polish game, and I forgot to enter the rights in. Right. And so...
Oops.
That's why it's wrong. So sorry. So sorry. Let's talk about some Big Finish news. How about Big Finish, The Death and Life of River Song, The Dissolution of Time is out now. What can we overanalyze on the cover art based on this?
When's it set? When's this dress from?
One at a time. What do you got there,
sorry.
Warren?
I just say, when's this dress from? It looks I could be wrong about that. Actually, Sarah's a better.
Yeah, Sarah, you're probably more of a sartorial expert.
This is the one that's in Berlin, right? So it's got to be Tudor era.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. With roses and a gun and some weird
barbed wire.
Yeah. So there you go. That's all I got.
Pam Anderson does not have a guest spot in this, though.
And why not? Damn it!
Yeah,
too busy promoting The Naked Gun and dating Liam Neeson.
That's true.
Those are both good reasons.
Yeah, I like the gun. It's got like a 2-barreled gun, or is one a flashlight? I can't tell what she's.
Isn't that her standard gun?
Could it be a laser sight thing?
Maybe it shoots 2 bullets. That'd be awesome.
Nah, that'd be a 2-bullet gun. Why hasn't this been invented yet? Come on,
warmongers.
What are we doing here?
You know those guns that are like double guns? Yeah, let's get those.
Like every schoolyard idiot has come up with this. Why haven't we built it?
2 guns, right? Anyway, that's out now from Big Finish with the delightful Alex Kingston in the lead. Of course, coming in December. This is the War Doctor again. The War Doctor Rises Cyber Gene is coming in December of 2025. We only have some no cover art to overanalyze. Sadly.
Looks like album art. There's one guy back there, another guy in front.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is this the one that's got all the Cybermen? Yeah, every Cyberman ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
ever?
That's what it says. I mean they.
It says every Cyberman that's been in the yet seen on TV.
Okay.
Yet seen.
Which, I mean, an audio thing, how do you, I guess, know that? But
yeah.
Yeah, so I liked that idea way back in the Asylum of the Daleks days, even if it wasn't executed properly.
Yeah, you're still bitter about that.
All right.
But yeah, more on that in a future episode.
Possibly, possibly.
No spoilers. Yeah, I love that as an idea. Like, why not?
I like the title tempting that this is in fact a Life on Mars crossover with Cyber Gene.
Nice.
Oh, I get it. Gene Hunt. It's Gene Hunt, or perhaps less successfully, Harvey Keitel's Gene Hunt from the failed American.
Oh dear! Don't
version.
even. No, don't do that.
Because they're on a Gene Hunt. Spoilers for the American version of Life on Mars, where they dumb it down.
I like to pretend that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I forgot it existed until I made that joke. I got to tell you.
So did I, actually.
Which is the second biggest joke next to the actual American remake of Life on Mars. But
Stephen, you still haven't watched Ashes to Ashes, have you?
Haven't. Nope. Co-starring Keely Hawes and an Audi Quattro. Both things which I'm a fan of, so I don't know why I haven't watched it, but yeah.
It's better than Life on Mars, I tell you.
How's that
Chris
even
tells
possible?
me. Yeah. Here's the thing, though, Chris. I keep telling you to watch Andor like every single other Star Wars fan.
I did watch Andor, and it didn't take.
You didn't watch all of Andor.
No, I watched the first few episodes.
But you like the Acolyte, therefore you're a
take.
suspect.
Yeah.
I watched the Acolyte.
Sarah, help us gang up on Chris. Did you watch Andor, and did you like it?
Well,
please say yes.
I refuse to incriminate myself.
Can you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet.
So you should watch Andor. I've heard that people say you should watch Andor. So I should tell you.
Right now.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard
really?
of it. Yeah.
Word of mouth on the street.
Talk of the town, yeah.
We're still working on getting Warren to watch Sherlock for community's sake. So
I've watched most of Sherlock. I just haven't watched the last season.
But you haven't watched all of it, Warren.
Well, who cares? I don't. Therefore, why bother?
Yeah.
I watched one episode of Slow Horses. I'll get around to it
good.
at some point.
Slow Horses is good.
I'm sure it is. The first episode was fine, but
Speaking of Sherlock, I've lost count. I've lost count of the episodes. Which one is the scandal in Belgravia? Is that the?
That's the 4th episode.
The 4th episode.
Yeah.
First one of season 2. Is it? Is that one with what's his name? The hot priest in it. From Fleabag.
No.
Yeah.
Sort of technically, but not really.
Okay. Anyway, I say this is because Stephen Moffat today, as we record, posted on Instagram and thus Threads that this day, 15 odd years ago, the greatest thing I've ever written, he said, is Scandal in Belgravia went into production. So this is why I bring it up. He thinks it's the best thing he ever wrote. You know.
All right, well.
I think it's Curse of the Black Spot under the pseudonym of Steve Thompson, but opinions may differ on this, so
Yeah, they will.
They probably will.
Sure. I'm glad we all know who you meant by the hot priest, though.
Of course we do.
And Andrew Scott, for those who are not following along.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the internet's boyfriend for a good long time, as I recall.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I'm thinking, is it Andrew Morgan who directed Remembrance of the
Battlefield?
No, that was Michael Kerrigan. I don't remember the name of successful actors, but I do know the names of late 1980s Doctor Who directors. So
and good for you.
Yeah.
If we ever get Phoebe Waller-Bridge as the Doctor, can we have Andrew Scott as the companion?
Well, no, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be the next showrunner for Doctor Who.
That's
I got to give her props. She signed some insanely lucrative deal with Amazon and has produced nothing. And that is how you do it. You make a pile of money and don't have to do any work.
None.
Brilliant.
Literally
Good
nothing.
for her.
They saw like 3 years ago.
Lots of development deals are like that, though.
Oh yeah, but
she made a pile of money doing it, so good for her.
I know. No, I think I was going to spread that rumor a little while back before I heard that Amazon was out from making Doctor Who. But I thought, hey, here we go, Amazon, make Doctor Who. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. We've been waiting for you to come up with something. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, showrunner of Doctor Who in 2027.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that, to be honest with you.
I'd take it.
No.
I think it's about time we had a woman up in charge.
Yeah, agreed.
Or in the Jane Tranter.
Well, I mean, we have
creative
Jane and Julie,
writing.
but
Yeah.
But for the writing and the
for a while there was debate if the woman who did, I can't remember her name, Gentleman Jack, and a couple other things, she was kind of the new hotness. And
is that Sally Wainwright?
I don't think it ever went past media speculation,
Yes.
but
yes.
Is that Sally Wainwright did
That's right, yes.
Call the Midwife? I can't remember if she did Gentleman Jack as well.
I know Sally Wainwright did
Sally
Gentleman
Wainwright.
Jack.
Yeah.
With the TARDIS herself, Saran Jones,
There you go.
Yeah, there we are.
who apparently on was it BBC Breakfast one show some such anyway. Karen Gillan was on there the other day, saying how she would come back to Doctor Who if Matt and Arthur were involved, and she was on the same show as Saran Jones, and apparently said something like, "Oh, we've even got the TARDIS here that could join us."
Whoa.
Well, luckily we're just recycling people, so it seems more likely than it did.
If they're gonna, your turn's going to come around at some point.
And now my new running
Doctor, as Warren keeps saying.
Yeah, exactly. My running gag in the text chain is like, she'll come back as Doctor Who. Just anybody who says they want to come back to the show has to be Doctor Who now.
That's what it is. Yeah. Sarah, do you have any other potential female showrunners that you want to throw in? Not that I know of any to suggest. I know, right? You don't have to. You don't have to come.
I think that now is a great time to throw a woman at it.
No repercussions whatsoever.
Think of all the blame the fans can give her.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Have you guys ever heard of the term the glass cliff?
No.
No, please explain.
Yeah.
Okay, so the glass cliff is when you have a situation like this where the brand is in trouble, and then you're like, good news, guys, we're bringing in a bright young voice, a woman, to revitalize everything. 18 months later, oh no, nothing changed. It must be her fault.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the glass cliff.
I love it.
That sounds about right.
I kind of once you said it, I have never heard it, but I realize I know it exactly what it means. Yeah, because glass ceiling.
Specifically a scapegoat as a
Yeah,
woman.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
While you get to look like you get woke points, which can be redeemed for woke toys at the woke Chuck E. Cheese.
The Woke Mart. Where I'd like to go to a Woke Mart, actually.
Yeah, the Kim Campbell Award for those Canadians of a certain age who,
There you go.
How can we save the PC party in 1993? I know.
Not like this.
We'll put a woman in charge as it's already going off the clef before they even put the glass in. Yeah.
She's an ardent Trump hater, though, so I got to give Kim Campbell
Yeah,
props
I know.
for that.
This is back when conservatives were progressive in this country. That ended with that election, 1993. Look it up. 1993 was responsible for a lot. The Reform Party and Dimensions in Time. What a year.
Who can say what's worse?
Dimensions in Time. Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a tough
there
one,
we
man.
go.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough.
What conspiracy theory is out there to tie those two together?
Well, we'll invent one, but not here and not today. Also out now from Penguin Books, a book that I've actually been looking forward to reading. I have a copy of it, believe it or not. I was sent one, and I haven't read it because I'm an awful reader. Doctor
Absolutely
Who,
you are.
One Night Only, a Fela Kuti story. The Fourth Doctor is Tom Baker, and meeting 1970s and 80s Afro-funk legend Fela Kuti in a Doctor Who book. I would have never have thought those two things would come together, but they have, and they're out now from Penguin Books in paperback or ebook from all the various retailers, written by Todd A. Thompson. Yep. I have this. It's on my iPad, but as I told you, Warren, a terrible reader. I don't.
You'll never find me arguing with you.
No,
on that.
I know.
And a bad person.
I admit it. I'm a bad person for not reading books more than because sometimes I have books written directly for. I have a book on the Star Cops that I bought. It's a huge book about only the Star Cops. 9 episodes of TV in August of 1987. There's a book about it. I have it. I bought it. I had it shipped to me. I haven't read it. I haven't read that damn book.
Well, you're getting book points now.
Also got you banned from YouTube.
It's made for me. It's made. No, that's Star Lost.
No, Star Lost got him banned from YouTube.
Star Lost got you banned from YouTube.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, not Star Cops.
One of those shows.
Yeah.
Why don't you go on a talking tour, Stephen, about how you were banned from YouTube and how the woke mob's coming after you?
You need to have a really stupid thumbnail. Try to stretch your mouth out to impossible size.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
now he can't watch Fela Kuti videos on YouTube.
I watched a whole concert from 1977 at the Berlin Jazz Festival with Fela Kuti, and it was it was awesome.
That sounds like you.
Yeah,
could have been reading the book, but no.
No, I watched It was awesome. That's awesome.
Excellent mobbing, Chris. Excellent mobbing indeed.
Fela Kuti's awesome.
Why don't you eat an apple if you're so hungry? Yeah,
because I'm chewing on sugar, Mom. Come on.
We have Taco Bell at home, sweetie.
Yeah, we do.
Gross.
Haven't had a Taco Bell in a long time. What else is happening? Oh, the Hugo Awards came out late after we recorded, before the episode that the most came out recently happened. The Lower Decks won their first Star Trek's first Hugo Award since when? Like
It won 2 Hugo Awards.
It won 2. It did. Lower Decks won, and some other claptrap won. What? Oh, it was the webcomic. That's what it was. It wasn't the actual TV show. It was.
No, it's their choose your own adventure thing. Warp
there we
your
go.
own way. I think I might be getting that.
Oh, right. Written by Ryan North, a great writer.
I think that won a Nebula as well. No, it won an Aurora.
Canadian.
Yeah,
that's why it won an Aurora, because he's Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the Lower Decks beat the 2 Doctor Who episodes up for it. Also about an Agatha All Along episode, and something else. A Fallout episode was also up for Hugo for best presentation short form. I'm happy.
2 episodes of Lower Decks, 2 episodes of Doctor Who, Dot and Bubble, 73 yards.
Yeah.
Agatha All Along and Fallout. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're never going to believe me, Stephen, but
Fallout episode directed by Wayne Yip, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Wayne Yip. Yeah.
It is the only new Star Trek that feels like proper Trek to me. So,
because they keep referencing, that's probably why.
No. It just actually feels like a Star Trek show as opposed to flashy J.J. Abrams nonsense.
All right.
You may also notice, Stephen, that both of the Doctor Who episodes nominated are directed by Dylan Holmes Williams, who was also directing The War Between.
The savior of the franchise, The War Between the Land and Sea, Turf and Surf. Yeah. Of course, I'd be remiss to point out the Uncanny Magazine won the best semi-prozine. I should say again, but we've been on and off when winning Hugos over the past 3 or 4 years. So honestly, it's nice. It's nice to say, wow, we won, and so we won. So that's Uncanny's 8th Hugo for Uncanny Magazine, which means there will be.
Congratulations.
Thank you. There will be
congratulations.
Presuming that we can one day get our Hugo Awards from China Worldcon from 2 years ago.
Not about tariffs.
Yeah, I don't know. We would have 16 Hugo Awards in this damn house. So this is.
You gotta make a table out of them or something.
Well, the thing is
your apartment's going to tip over.
It is
melt them down for something useful.
Well, that's
fillings.
Rude.
Yeah, it's a lot of fillings.
Fillings.
If you build one really big?
There we go. Now we're talking. Also,
there we go.
Sarah, I must
Super Hugo.
apologize.
Yeah.
I know you love J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movies, and I don't, but I'm just don't want to slag it too hard.
Oh yeah. No, it's okay that you're wrong.
So,
wow.
Right, then.
Have you reviewed any or all of those movies on Is It Camp, Sarah? Can I ask?
We did the first one in our first year, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We could do the second one. That's just depressing and sad.
Yeah.
But the third one, I will maintain, Star Trek Beyond is really fun. It's like an 80s BMX kids movie.
It's all right.
Better.
It's that second one that makes me physically angry.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Kurtzman had anything to do with the third one, which is probably why it's, stands alone, kind of.
Different director, too. Different writer, I believe.
Yeah.
Different writers. The Third one's co-written by Simon Pegg.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So, yeah, I've seen all three, and the third one is okay, and the first one is fine for what it is. It's just that second one makes me so mad.
Yeah, first one is the greatest movie ever made.
I would not.
And Idris F. and Elba in the third one.
Yes.
Which all made up and look terrible. I'm like, the world's handsomest man, and you just put a bunch of glop on his face. What's going on here?
Why? I don't understand. I don't understand why we keep
It's
putting...
a real, I can't remember her name, Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
Like, let's...
Maz Kanata.
Maz Kanata, yes.
Let's get beautiful black people and put them behind makeup. What does that say?
That's what they're doing with The War Between as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They are. I forgot about that.
What is the problem here? Obviously,
Although,
I see
that's
the
kind
connection.
of a hot sea devil. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh. Is she a sea devil? Has it been confirmed?
She's some other kind of fish. Who knows?
Yeah, she's a Homo aqua, I think, based on what the little teaser, the little egg that you could see in the Doctor Who exhibit at San Diego Comic-Con. Homo aqua.
Gay agenda again, Homo aqua.
And Troy McClure's agenda's in here somewhere, too.
Yeah, and telling us to drink water.
What happened to straight aqua, really?
Yeah.
Where's straight Aqua Pride Day?
Straight Aqua had a hit in 1999 with Barbie Girl.
That's true, they did.
That's true, they did.
They didn't strike me as all that straight, honestly, but okay.
No, they were Swedish pop. Swedish pop is not that straight.
Danish.
There we go.
Danish.
Okay, thank
Very
you.
important. Get your Scandinavian countries right, damn it.
As a Eurovision fan, I must defend Scandinavia.
That's true.
Typically does well.
Yeah. Speaking of fictitious awards, Doctor Who won the TCA award for outstanding achievement in the field of excellence in family programming for the second year running. Family programming. What other family shows are out there? Let's face it, though. Doctor Who has sort of like kind of cornered the market on that. Let's try to bring everyone together and watch it all. Like, you know, like everything seems to have siphoned off. So I'd love to know if there was a jury that voted for other shows. It just sort of mentioned,
Bluey, ironically.
Outstanding achievement in family, right?
Yeah, in family, not family television, but like it just lists the winners, like, you know.
So Forever,
right,
which is on Netflix apparently. I don't know what that. Heartstopper, which
okay. Did we beat that? We beat Heartstopper. Wow,
we didn't beat anything.
Enjoyable enough, but very, very saccharine. Gentry Chow versus the Underworld.
I don't know that
Netflix.
One. I don't know that one.
Star Trek Prodigy. It beat.
Well,
so there's one for Stephen to gloat over somehow.
That was for kids. Was that really for family? That's for kids.
It's fine. It was like Clone Warsy.
Yeah.
Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, Disney Channel.
I've heard of that.
I don't know. We're beyond Waverly Place. Pardon me. We don't live in Waverly Place. We're not trolls.
Yeah.
Come on.
The war
I know nothing about Waverly Place.
The war between wizards and war. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Star Trek Beyond Waverly Place.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what the world needs.
Yeah.
Something called Wandla, which I'm not aware of.
That is
Apple TV Plus.
No, I thought that was Agatha and WandaVision, and it's the co-production of it.
Something called XO Kitty, which I'm assuming is Kiss Hug Kitty. I don't know.
It's
it's Executive Officer Kitty. It's on a submarine, I think is what it is. Yeah.
It's a spin-off of To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Okay. Yeah. And the last one was Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Disney Plus.
That's right. Which I remember Spider-Man fans got angry about because they're making Spider-Man for kids. I'm like, guys, I don't know how to tell you this. But
most of these shows, apart from Heartstopper, which skews young adult in my opinion. I don't know, feeling like kid shows. Is Doctor Who a kid show now? Is that what's going on when they're sort of included with family programming?
I don't know. Does family TV even really exist anymore? Yeah. Like not Family Channel, but I don't know. Maybe it's because none of us have kids.
Yeah, I know.
That we aren't like forced into watching this stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Well, I mean, there are children who do need quote unquote programming to view. So presumably, yes, there is.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for outstanding achievement in children's programming, Sesame Street beat out Bluey.
Good. Take that, Bluey.
Yeah. Specifically, Stevie Wonder's appearance on Sesame Street in April of 1973.
It is the peak of television. I can't argue with that.
Absolutely staggeringly good. Every April 12th, we celebrate that day. This past time, we watched the entire episode, actually. Episode number 514, if you're counting at home, with Stevie Wonder in it. So,
area code for Montreal.
So it is.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
Very helpful. Last bit of news, Edmonton Expo related, Doctor Who related. Catherine Tate has had to pull out of the convention. She was going to be here, and thus sent her perfunctory. Every guest who cancels on conventions now has to do a phone video saying sorry for not showing up, and that's exactly what
a hostage tape.
A little bit, yeah. So she won't be at Edmonton Expo, but the Four Hobbits will. Four Hobbits will be at Edmonton Expo in a month's time.
One of the people from K-pop Human Hunters.
Oh boy.
Out. Wow.
You know that show that nobody else has seen?
No.
Well, again, don't have kids.
Don't have kids, so yeah.
You don't have to. It's enrapturing adults as well as families.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, it is.
Sarah,
that's a great pull quote, Chris.
Yeah,
have you seen K-pop Human Hunters?
No, I've heard it's fun.
Okay, I'm the only one here then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I see. I don't like slop, so that's why I don't watch it.
Here we go.
Could be good for all
you
I know,
watch the news though.
That's a different kind of slop. A different kind of slop and a statistician.
That's it for our news. We have an hour and a half long Miniscope coming after this. So once again, apologies for the very long episode of Radio Free Skaro. But what else you got to do? Come on. It's the middle of summer. You can pause it. Whatever. Sarah's here. We had fun. Right, Sarah?
Yeah. Thank you for having me, guys.
Always. For those that don't know, tell us about Is It Camp and what you have next coming up on the podcast.
Is It Camp is a theoretically it's a podcast about camp media. Really, we talk about pretty much whatever we want. The episode that is coming out today, the same episode that this fine RFS episode is coming out, is, let's wait until the spreadsheet waits to completely load, is Fast Five.
Oh,
an exploration of Fast Five, which is the best one in the Fast and Furious franchise.
I've never. That's that movie about families. Speaking of family entertainment, right?
Family.
Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. I've never seen any of them. Even though I like
saw
car
one,
crashes.
it was dumb. Don't remember which one.
Yeah, I feel like the car crashes are a little too operatic, even for my liking. Like 70s car crash movies, like you could tell it's a real cars getting thrown around, which is kind of part of the charm. And now they do like CG cars, like pulling bank safes down roads and stuff like that.
And those are like all steel frame, heavy massive bullet cars.
They weigh literally the size of a planet, and they're throwing them around. But I hope you found joy in Fast Five, I guess, Sarah, is what I mean to say. Maybe
that's actually the one that went away from CGI and back to actual car crashes.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's part of the fun.
Gosh, the For Your Eyes Only of the Fast franchise, if you want to.
I definitely understand that, yeah.
My first thought is Maud Adams in it?
Yes, she is actually. Yes,
very good.
As Octopussy in Fast Five. Well, thanks again, Sarah, for joining us. You'll be back, obviously, because A, we like you, and B, you're Canadian, and C, sometimes we just like to throw a woman at it and see what we can do.
What's this week, Kimasabi?
Apparently, RFS has a glass cliff now.
Yeah.
Apparently. Named Steven
I
Shapansky.
can't wait for you guys to get canceled after this.
It's going to be so great. It's going to be so great. Anyway, that's it for this segment of the podcast. And now it's going to be time to talk once again for the third time about Doctor Who director Jamie Magnus Stone in the Miniscope.
Could be a theme park from the future. Or it might be inside a Miniscope.
Oh, shut up.
A Miniscope, yes, of course, why not?
It is time for part 3 of our epic 4-part Miniscope on Doctor Who director Jamie Magnus Stone, director of 8 complete total full-length episodes, full-length varying from 45 to 90 minutes, depending on your point of view. We got about, 3-hour-long episodes today? It's Flux, baby. It's episodes 1, 2, and 4. The Halloween Apocalypse, War of the Sontarans, Village of the Angels, the first block of Doctor Who Flux. So yeah, we're dipping back into Flux time, baby. How do you feel about that?
Well, Flux itself, I don't understand. I watched 3 of these and I have no clue what's going on, Flux-wise. Otherwise, the actual stories themselves are quite enjoyable, but anything to do with the Flux, I'm like, I'm not going to bother figuring out either.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying before we started recording, sitting there watching the Halloween Apocalypse, just trying to go through my mind of Just like all the Flux elements that get introduced in that episode, and then trying to think of all the ones that have yet to be introduced, like Grand Serpent and
Unit
Vinder's
returning
partner,
for some reason, and
Unit coming back, Daleks, Angels, and like all this stuff that's it's coming. You don't know it's coming, but it's coming, and that does not help for clarity.
Because we only watched these three, dear listener. We did not watch the other episodes, and it's been a while. It's been a while since we watched Flux.
A few months for me, but a lot longer for you guys.
A lot longer.
Yeah, it's a couple of years for me, I'm sure.
Yeah. I tell you though, I mean, when it comes to Flux, like, if you'll allow me, let me start off with a slightly personal anecdote here of the time of COVID in those days, the heady days of the early pandemic, and this was written in like June of 2020, and they went before the cameras in September of 2020. Like, not even like, and for a while there, according to Chris Chibnall's own interview with us on this very podcast, for about an hour or two, it was canceled. That whole season was canceled. And it reminded me of a similar time, because for those that don't know, I work for the Edmonton Oilers and do replays and stuff in-house, and it's a fun and great job. And then when the world shut down in March of 2020, and they finally said, well, let's finish the NHL season by basically having the rest, a big expanded playoffs in Toronto and Edmonton, and then have the final in Edmonton. So for like 3 months, a whole bunch of people gathered upon Edmonton to try to make this thing work in a bubble, doing
impressive
COVID,
that you did
COVID tests every day. And I remember I listened to a podcast a couple years ago. I don't know when it was. And the NHL director of creation, like the guy who's Steve Mayer's his name, and he's sort of the guy who like comes up with ideas for all-star games and NHL events, and like produces all these things for the NHL, has done for like 15, 20 years. And the people on the podcast asked him, what was your favorite event that he's done? He's sort of like, you know what? It was the one we did in Edmonton in COVID, just because it was like we pulled together and against all odds, and probably it wasn't perfect or anything, but we did the absolute best with what we could. And that's the mentality I go into when I watch Doctor Who Flux,
Yeah, fair.
Sure, it has, especially in the second half, something happened, man. Something happened between blocks 1 and 2 that just completely put that thing off the rails. But the first 3 episodes, the ones that we get to talk about today, like those have some genuine great touches in it. I loved all 3 of these episodes. I'm not going to lie to you. But the fascinating thing is like, I don't think I recognized it as much at the time, but now I will look at it and go, there's like 3 people in this scene, and there's 2 people in that scene, and you realize that
getting new Doctor Who during a worldwide crisis was just a gift to begin with. So
it was, yeah,
it's a better gift than we're getting these days. I was kind of trying to watch it through that lens a little bit as well, and I was kind of surprised by the flip side of that, where they didn't have gaps between people, and there was like no distancing and all that kind of stuff. There was there were very, 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 very many examples of only 1 or 2 people in a scene, but having them in close proximity. Like there's a shot in, I think it's Time of Angel or Village of the Angels. It's in my notes. I'll get to it eventually, I'm sure, but John Bishop and Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gill are basically stood one beside the other, like in super close proximity. And it's like, it doesn't feel like COVID. I mean, obviously, as you said, for the NHL bubble here, I mean, daily COVID tests and whatever other things they were trying to do to mitigate problems. But I think that in the second block of shooting is where we see a lot more COVID-esque stuff in place.
Yeah, it's like I remember the climactic scene in episode 6, The Vanquishers. Like it quite clearly takes place on the corner of a building that they've sort of digitally altered to make it look like something like. But there's railings on like staircases and stuff. Like they for some reason they lost the set for the Temple of Adipose. They got rid of it, or something happened to it because they couldn't shoot in it. Reading an interview with Jamie Magnus Stone about that time. Like the scenes in Halloween Apocalypse, which take place in the house, the Arctic house, they actually found that on location. It was an early shoot for them, but they realized like pretty early on when they're shooting that, even though there's only 2 people in the scenes, the crew have to be somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
And so after that, they realized like they're like literally putting cameras outside windows on the outside of the house to get the shots while being socially distanced and all that. So after that, they realized like, let's just build these things in the studio. And in talking to Jonathan Watson at Gallifrey 1 2 or 3 years ago, might have been the one that you two weren't there at, 2022, I want to say.
That's the COVID one, yeah.
Yeah. He played the Sontaran, many different Sontarans in the War of Sontarans. And even they were saying, like, as he was like wrapping production, it goes, you know, one of the second ADs or something pulled him aside. You know what? Don't go too far. We might need you again for future episodes. You know, we'll keep maybe that set and stuff like that. Like, even then, they were shooting episode 2 of a 6-part serial program, and they didn't know until that moment that maybe we should have these you know, the Sontarans back later on in the very episode. It kind of smacks of like Peter Purvis showing up as Morton Dill in episode 3 of The Chase and being the next companion 3 weeks later. You know, they were just really flying by the seat of their pants. So I know a lot of people like kind of dump on Flux, but man, a lot had to go absolutely perfectly right to have anything made at all. And so bless them for trying, you know?
including none of the primary cast getting ill.
Yeah.
Because I know one thing you'd like to point out, Stephen, is the amount, and it's, watching these 3 and then trying to think of the other 3. I think that happens more in Block 2 shooting. But having Mandip Gill and Jodie Whittaker nowhere near each other, so that if one came down with COVID, they can still shoot the other unit with the other person.
Yeah, and you know what? I think like certainly the first 2 episodes, I noticed this. Magnus Stone was sort of said like Village of the Angels, because of script delays, apparently. They sort of shot that one a little more separately. Like usually when they do a block of, you know, episodes in the block, they usually, okay, today we'll shoot some scenes from episode 1, tomorrow we'll do some of episode 2, then back and forth and that kind of thing, even though it's different sets and everything. But 4 sort of stood on its own. And I can kind of tell in the first 2 episodes that there isn't as much of like the epic kind of shots that are going on perhaps in series 12, the stuff that we talked about over the past couple miniscopes. I think they're just like, let's just get coverage. Like, let's just get as much as we can in the can and just like fix it in the editing. Like, make sure that we have enough in the editing room, because if someone goes down for 2 to 3 weeks or something because of COVID, and we have to shut down, at least we have coverage of everything that we can do. Sure, we might have to sacrifice a little bit of, you know, creativity and artistic license and stuff like that, but at least we have enough stuff in the can. So I don't know about you two, but I didn't quite see as much stuff in the camera work. Certainly, I think even Chibnall said in another interview, not Radio Free Skaro, that his you know, in lieu of doing the big international shoots and stuff like that, like let's do some stuff with like CG and backgrounds and stuff on blue screen that we could do in a controlled environment, and have that sort of be the hook of this episode. And so I think that's probably why there isn't quite as many like vistas and stuff like that for this one. But
there's definitely I'm not going to say an increase, because that's really not true, because there's a lot of stuff that's CG that we may not even realize, but there's definitely a prominence of CG in Flux, which I don't doubt is there to just mitigate, you know, the number of people around or anything of that nature.
Certainly the pre-title sequence of the Halloween Apocalypse.
Certainly the pre-title sequence of the Halloween Apocalypse, which was the first note I made saying, okay, don't ever do that.
You didn't like it? You didn't like that scene?
Well, I mean, obviously they're not, nobody sets out to make something bad.
Right.
The budget they had obviously is not extreme, things like that, but just the note I made was that no matter how good they try to make that cold opening with the acid sea planet, which I'm calling Marinus,
sure,
basically 100% reliance on CGI is never good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you take that compared to the plane of dirt, ash, whatever, where the Doctor and Swarm first talk,
mm-hmm.
that works a lot better because it's a lot simpler. Or contrast that with when it cuts to 1820 Liverpool and you've got all these practical props and things like that. It just looks so much better. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to do CG. There are lots of scenes which are super duper heavy CG in this, which have a role, but I mean, I guess partly and then Magnus Stone had probably nothing to do with any of this, but there's some CG stuff that works really well and some that really doesn't. Like there's a lot of stuff with the Angels, for example, that really does not.
I think I know some of the shots you mean, and we'll get to them. Yeah, I also think like probably that first sequence, the pre-title sequence, probably like let's blow them away. This is like scene 1, episode 1, after a year and a half away because of COVID and everything else. They also wanted to make it look like, okay, we're not just going to be two people stuck on a hill somewhere separated by 15 feet, that we're going to actually try to push the boat out here. And so show the audience that, okay, see, we can still do proper Doctor Who stuff. I remember watching it the first time around and, watching it on BBC iPlayer, let's face it. And it was only stereo. And let me tell you, boy, I had no idea what either the Doctor or Yas were saying.
True, yes.
All the sound was just coming through two speakers. But, it's better with 5.1. But I just remember at the time, like, and there was no subtitles at the time. And I was like, I don't know what they're saying because there was just so much going on. But
yeah. Which, as we've talked about before, that didn't help us in the days when Doctor Who was on Sunday nights and we could, watch it in the afternoon and then have to record about it that evening and have like basically no time for anything to digest or for rewatches to happen or anything like that. Sorry, Warren,
that's okay.
off, I think.
I was just gonna say, just in terms of visuals, I did like the reveal of that they were upside down, and I really liked as they fly into the TARDIS onto I'll just get out there so you can talk about it, Chris, the mattress. but I did love the flipping, like once they get into the TARDIS, they're still flinging through the air. We'd never really seen anything like that before, so I thought that was really well done, where they're flying through some of it is obviously, all of it is obviously green screen, but then when they get into the actual physical set, I was like, that's a pretty cool way to enter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's definitely different.
Tongues will wag, of course, as they did at the time, as I recall.
One of my notes that, as of course, this is a mix of just offhand remarks and directing stuff. One of my offhand remarks is, like all voice activated stuff, it doesn't work.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you were Scottish when you set it up, Warren.
That made me laugh out loud when I saw it the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you, anyway, I think I've already nailed my colors of the mast. I loved all 3 of these episodes. I thought they were great. I thought they were 100% great.
Yeah, they're fun. It's more of the stuff within about the story than the flux stuff, which just kind of gets in the way since we're not watching half of it, and probably does anyway.
I know, like, part of me wonders, like, it's doing miniscopes like this is fascinating when you sort of like limit yourself to watch it. Like you talked, Chris, about how we don't see the Great Serpent at all. We don't see Unit at all, or like the early Unit years and stuff like that. Like none of that has even come in. It's probably not even written at that point. Let's face it. There's literally 2 scenes of the guy in Liverpool in 1820. Mm-hmm. Which leads me to think that was probably an afterthought that they inserted into this first block. It just feels like, well, why would you write that in and then literally don't talk about it after episode 1? And I think that probably had something to do with it too. I've always wondered, and God, I wish we had the full story on this. Maybe pin Chris Chibnall down for another couple hours in a hotel room at Gallifrey 1 or something like that. But I just feel like they had so many ideas and things and consolation plans just in case somebody got COVID. We had to continue production. At least we could focus on this storyline and this storyline. And then, of course, they lucked out and nothing happened. And so they have all these storylines that they started. They couldn't really edit out, and so they had to wrap them up. They had to wrap them all up at the end of it, and that didn't quite work.
Yeah, and there's also the fact it was supposed to be 8 episodes originally, or something like that, or apparently, allegedly, whatever. Mm-hmm. So if they had an extra 2 episodes of room to breathe and explore and all that, then they could have either even more slowly introduced some of the elements, or just had more time for backstory, exposition, whatever, for exploration of those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not to mention even stuff like completely different episode. I think is it episode 3? I can't even remember. 5. The scene with the job interview for the Grand Serpent.
I think it's 3. I think
where
it's
it
3.
Switches between like Yaz and Vinder. It's like just even stuff like that is just confusing.
I feel like, when you think about it, and this is just a writing thing and a COVID thing, is that I think probably what if we had, because I think at the cliffhanger of episode 2, this isn't directing at all. It's not even the episodes at all, but it's important to talk about it. It's almost like, well, what if we had Dan and Carvanista in the Doctor's team way back when in the Joe Martin years, sort of, and what if we had Yaz and, if we used the existing characters, A would be someone that the audience would care about, but also it would limit the number of extra actors we have to bring into the COVID bubble, that's kind of a way around it too. So.
Yeah, and given the focus on the aftermath of the Timeless Children, i.e. Division, yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah, there might be an issue to that, but
yeah, they keep saying Division over and over, and I'm like, I've already checked out. I have no idea what a Division is, and there's no real payoff for it. So okay,
yeah, well, I suppose so. Division, of course, is from
Timeless Children.
Timeless Children. We talked about it.
Oh, I know. It's just it doesn't. Maybe I'm more looking at the next era of Doctor Who and how Division just kind of gets. Even though RTD goes out of his way to acknowledge previous stuff,
that's true.
Division is kind of like whatever the next thing is. We're not going to talk about the Pantheon, except for old jerks like us who will be bitter about it.
Honestly, I mean, the one thing leave the Timeless Children behind. I'm more intrigued by the Division, but that's the one thing that RTD.
I am
didn't
shocked that Big Finish hasn't jumped over this. I'm sure they have within the Jodie stories.
They'll get there.
But they've got to have their own separate Division stories, because it's just you go whatever you want out of it.
They really could, couldn't they? Yeah, they could have.
Especially with also having Jo Martin as with her stories.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I guess in effect you are having Division stories because it's Jo Martin is theoretically part of the Division, but just to have their own separate stuff with whoever else, people they've made up out of whole cloth.
Mm-hmm. As for directing, as for these 3 episodes, as for the Halloween Apocalypse, specifically, I wrote the odd notes here, but I have to say I just sort of noticed vibes and such, and just sort of little occasional little shots here. I thought it just was shot very well. I thought the transition between the old swarm into the new swarm was pretty creepy, with his eyes sort of bugging out a little bit, and
the crystals coming up through the skull.
Yeah. Not the crystal skull, of course. That would be a different thing altogether. But I thought there was just a lot of just the tone of it all just was very creepy, especially
frantic fun too.
That too
kind of switches to that later on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I'm sure we'll get to it properly in time, but just to throw it out there, the way he handles the angels in Village of the Angels is also very the general style of the episodes shifts from one to the next. So Village of Angels in a lot of ways is suspense horror kind of thing, and Stone handles it so very well. And I've said this every time before. I'm saying it again. I miss Second Akinola.
Oh,
his music for
especially for
Village of the Angels was so good.
It was good. Oh, the building up of all the cliffhangers at the end of episode 1.
That's really well done. Yeah,
that just a sense of dread, just building chords and like not just like over the top nonsense or anything, but just like just building dread into the cliffhanger, like it's the end of the universe. Oh God, I have it. Akinola's music in the cliffhanger is all caps amazing.
End of the universe is a big storm cloud and a bunch of dogs, but you're still like, oh, this is pretty serious stuff.
I know, like they treat it seriously. That's the thing. It doesn't feel. Like I complained that the previous series was sort of like really leaning into the camp aspect of things. Like here we have destruction of the universe and a guy dressed up as a dog, and yet everything is played out to be a hell of a lot seriously. Still with jokes, not like overly serious, but like
the banter, the back and forth between him and Dan is great.
It's great, but they play it as funny, but it's not. It's not shot as such, and the music doesn't. There's no like, there's no jokey music to tell you what's going on, and you should be laughing at this. It should be funny and stuff. Like it's treated as seriously, but they're adding jokes to it, and that is the perfect mix. It's if you're gonna go jokey and serious in the same combination, make it have the dialogue be jokey, yet everyone play it seriously, as opposed to the other way around.
When your music is mostly all like bass and rumbly and stuff, you've got literally nowhere to go but up. So
Well, there's just a bunch of tones in this first one, and Stone juggles them pretty well.
I think so too. Like all the stuff in the street in Liverpool, like it just like there's a lot of night shoots and stuff, and I just thought like it looks great. It just feels so desolate. It's so. I mean, that's the one thing that just strikes me as like, of course they could shoot in the middle of the street somewhere because everyone's locked inside their homes at that time.
In fact, I think that there's a scene where that happens where people are like at the door with Dan. They're like, "What are you doing?" It's curfew. That's in War of the Sontarans, but that's really well done. And also it ties into the actual curfew is more or less that we were under.
Yeah.
Also, I wonder whose wet dream it was to have a house half a block from Anfield. Because somebody out there really
I don't know what that means.
I'm sure.
Right. Anfield's where
the home turf for Liverpool Football Club.
Oh, okay. I guess so. Sure.
Premiership champions most recently.
They are.
Liverpool. Paul McGann and his Sonny's favorite team, of course, because they're from Liverpool. They were enthusiastic right before I interviewed them at Chicago TARDIS because they had just beaten, I think, Manchester City or something like that in a fairly big game. So that's what I remember about Liverpool.
This means even less than hockey to me.
I know. Association football, Warren.
Hockey is a little more accessible to Canadians, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like just by osmosis, I picked up a little bit, not much, but a little bit.
But yeah, I mostly just noticed like just handling the material well, gathering footage, which oftentimes, let's face it, especially like in the first block of a production block that's being really upended because of COVID and not having to be able to shoot as many hours in the day and all the tests and the bubbles and the cohorts and all that sort of thing. Like, they got it done. It looks good. It doesn't look uninspiring. It rattles along. That cliffhanger is awesome. When Clara shows up in the street and we have no idea who she is, but she knows the doctor and Yazar, and then she's okay, I gotta go home. And then Weeping Angel appears, and it's just like, wow, that is
a good reveal.
Yeah.
As a story beat, I'm always here for when that happens. Like somebody knows who the doctor is, but the doctor doesn't know the reverse.
And Moffat and RTD have also done that quite well. Both.
Oh yes.
So
it's hardly a new thing, but
it's always a cool thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's going to sound possibly a little stupid, but like, I mean, if the doctor was real and showed up like on our respective streets or something like that, we would know who they are.
If you were in Doctor Who Lux, the episode from this most recent season.
Yes, I noticed that, just to jump slightly ahead with nothing to do with Magnus Stone, the interruption of the credits for Village of the Angels, just like the Lux credits get interrupted.
That's true. That's true. First minute credit sequence, yeah. Well, that's all I have. I just sort of noted like various just a good good tempo and feel. Sometimes it doesn't have to be epic drone shots and stuff like that. Apart from that one drone shot into the Liverpool Museum, I thought was really cool, where it sort of goes right through the window and Dan's leading this tour guide that he shouldn't be. I thought that was kind of cool. A good hero introduction shot for the new companion, that being Dan.
Yeah,
he's also a great tour guide. Like, just hire him for God's sake.
He just knows his stuff.
Well,
damn
exactly. This is a Chibnall thing, but who cares? Why are they not only not taking him up on doing the tours, because he's up for it? He says, "How would I just
and good at
limit it to mornings?"
Yeah.
They're not interested in that. They want to bar him from the museum as a whole.
Maybe it's Britain.
Maybe
the rules have to be followed.
Maybe we don't know the full story of why he was banned in the first place.
Possibly. Let's not look any further into that, which is just imaginary anyway.
It's not a door anyone wanted to open, but
and this is coming from the head door opener himself. So
exactly. But I mean, what museum out there would not relish a very good volunteer guide?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm not going to add to that, because all I know is, having known a few librarians in my day, do not think you know their job, because they will tell you immediately, and they'd be right, that you do not. So
that's true.
Same with museum people. I'm assuming.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anything else from Halloween Apocalypse before we move on to?
I had a few notes.
Yeah,
Warren, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to.
I bet you're going to cover most of the same, but go for it. You go first.
There's some fun camera work, to be sure. Like when the Doctor and Yaz are under the TARDIS console, the Doctor's trying to do like diagnostics or something like that. They're shot from down, basically on the floor. There's some super duper close-ups of Vinder's eyes and lips when he's first introduced.
There's a lot of that going through all these close-ups.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in part 4.
That was my next note. Stone is not afraid of a close-up.
Nope.
And honestly, for this here, sorry to interrupt, because if we go back to the COVID thing, I bet you a lot of it, like they probably did some shots in the group shot, but notice how there aren't a lot of group shots. A lot of it is, reverse shot without like the other person being in. It's probably a lot easier to shoot like close-ups of an actor without that person being right next to them for COVID reasons.
Or just bringing one in, then the other to do their line separately.
Yeah, exactly. They
might be
like,
from way off stage.
They might be way out across the other side of the studio to do it. But I bet you they probably shot it for that very reason.
Or a close-up where you're focused on just like somebody's face, for example, maybe 6 inches away is somebody holding a sheet of plexiglass. Or some other PPE related.
If you ever want to see, I was talking to my parents of all people about this when Coronation Street, they were one of the few ones to come back, and I made a point of watching one episode during COVID, and they did a stupendous job of just working around this, like shooting behind people's legs and stuff and all sorts. So you could always, you're like, okay, that's a crew person shot, with it's not Lord of the Rings, but the same kind of idea of doing forced perspective type stuff. Like they went to town on that, and they did a great job. I got to give Coronation Street credit.
Yeah. That's down to the directors as much as anything, if not more than anything.
I remember I interviewed Paul Wilmshurst, because I think we have him in the Miniscope, who directed at least 3 episodes of Doctor Who. I think he's gone on to do Day of the Jackal now. And this is like during the early days of the pandemic, and I remember asking him, like, because he just felt like such a like, is this it for planet Earth? And he says, oh no, how will the industry recover? Oh, we'll recover. Well, we'll do it. We'll find ways to do it. And like within 3 months, Coronation Street is shooting with plexiglass outside. So it's like, the entertainment industry finds a way.
They were one of the first, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. Them in sports, apparently. Yeah, everyone else just tried to figure out how to unmute their microphone on Zoom.
I love to deride the entertainment industry probably for good reason. But they did like a Mission Impossible. I remember when I can't remember which one it was, but Tom Cruise went on a epic rant in one of the crew because they were breaking COVID protocols, and I'm like, this guy's a zillion kind of crazy and has $1 zillion in his pocket, but he's not wrong.
Yeah. That was one of the reasons why they had a big, huge budget on that one Mission Impossible, because they had shut down for like 8 weeks or something like that because of COVID.
Just to throw it out there, Paul Wilmshurst was the Miniscope subject in April 2020, episode 739, Lockdown of the Daleks.
Speaking of,
Lockdown of the Daleks. There we are.
Yeah. That's when we had a bunch of, I think it was a bunch of the Daleks episode titles or something.
We did, yeah.
But that was also the episode that Stacey Smith was on talking about
pandemics,
viruses and epidemiology and whatever. So
heady days.
So we've already done Paul Wilmshurst.
We have indeed. Chris, what else is on your list of notes there that I interrupted you from?
What else we got here? When the Doctor first talks to Carvanista on his ship, everything is shot from a nice low angle, like probably knee level pointing up.
I like there briefly afterwards. She's at the controls, and the circular door. Great set design, by the way. The circular door is like right behind her, reminding me of like the basically, Warren, you'll know this better than Chris. The visual theme of Andor is that there's always people standing like circular doorways, and they're just sort of like, oh wow, they had that like 2-3 years before Andor did, so it was a cool looking shot. Sadly, she wasn't there long. I'm not sure how intentional it was to frame her so perfectly in that, because she moved within seconds of that shot starting, but it started out great. Anyway, sorry, Chris, I wanted to point that out.
Oh, that's all good. And when they are first shooting on the Sontaran ship, there's just a fun little pan across the area from the camera. Mm-hmm. That's all I had for notes. It wasn't a heck of a lot, because as we've talked about in the past, I mean, Stone is, he's decent. He's very capable and things like that. He's not necessarily like super duper flary either. Like he's not a Tarantino or something.
But he's
like
got
that.
some, and it gets revealed here too, like more on War of Sontarans and Village Angels. He's got some signature moves. Like one that I noticed is he loves a landmass to epic thing shot. Like that's in War of Sontarans and in Village of Angels, as I recall, where we just go from this, we're on the ground and we go up to some like halfway shot, and then you've got like the big Sontaran factory or whatever it is, complex. Or I can't remember exactly what it is in Village of Angels, but I do remember that same kind of shot happening.
Yeah,
I've got a thing in my Village of the Angels notes along that line, so I'll save it for then. But yes, short answer, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any notes from Halloween Apocalypse, Warren?
No, nothing that Chris hasn't covered really. We covered the angel sequence being very good, and I agreed it was. And a lot of it's just about Dan and Carvanista's banter, which has nothing to do with other than directing actors and doing a job with them. It's
also a very important thing too. Yeah, well, let's talk about War of the Sontarans. And I have to think that one and only shot of the Doctor right after the opening titles, where it's like black and white and like there's that weird floating house and stuff like that. Yeah. I wonder if that was shot by Azur Salim in Block 2, just because it would be weird to do that one shot, given that there was other similar scenes, so to speak, in future episodes that maybe they reinserted that. But if he did it, it was cool. And I remember at the time going, what is going on? I
called it
mysterious.
David Lynch black and white weirdness, because that's what it made me think of. Listen, when David Lynch does just odd stuff out of nowhere.
Erica has been watching, no spoilers, she'll be done by the time this comes out. She's only got 2 episodes left, but she's finally watching the 3rd season of Twin Peaks.
No spoilers for me either, because I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
It's bonkers. It's weird. And I completely bounced off the original 1990 version, but for some reason I'm just into whatever David Lynch is doing now. I have no idea what's going on in the show, so I can't spoil it, Warren.
That's the point.
But the visual...
And actually the movie's like that too. Fire Walk with Me is just like that, utterly bananas.
Yeah, well, less said about that, the better.
We'll disagree on that one.
But just the visual theme of the not the reboot, the continuation, just it did, Warren, kind of remind me now that I've seen that Twin Peaks on that one house shot, because it comes out of nowhere, just like what is going on, and then that's it. That's all you see.
Yeah, and Lynch is the master at that kind of stuff.
He is, yeah. Gets away with a lot, does David Lynch. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of great, like, the vista shots, the drone shots in the battlefield. It's quite clearly snowing and raining. Like the weather is horrendous in
But
that.
you're shooting outside, which is always a plus during COVID.
You are? Yeah.
One of my notes was how rushed must the schedule have been, because Jodie Whittaker basically had wet hair throughout the whole episode. John Bishop as well.
Yeah. I'm just going to say that Jodie Whittaker looks good in curly hair. Thought they should have curled her hair more during this, because it gets naturally curled because of the rain and stuff. And like some of the scenes inside the British hotel, there's like, you know what? That's a good look for her. They should go with that a little more, but they never did. Yeah. It looked great though. It's a battlefield. It looks awful and gross, just like all battlefields should, you know? Like it was, yeah. It worked. It really worked, and like hardly any of that was like, you know, special effects. It was all like,
unlike the big battle scene, which still, my note for that is, this is all CG Sontarans and CG soldiers. That's still tough to direct. You know what I mean?
That was the I think it was the same or similar software that they use for Lord of the Rings with
I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember the name of it. It escapes me, but
it starts with
Massive or something like that.
Yeah, Massive or something like that. Literally, they were like AI, or they probably weren't called AI back in those days. You know, just sort of CG, like they were created and they can react to things. They basically
here's your behaviors. Yeah,
that's
and it works. Like it does work.
Yeah. I remember the early tests for the orcs. Basically, it's okay, and now I hit the button to make them do their own thing, and they all just ran away. You could see them all run off. They turn and run into the distance because they were too terrified to go.
Sorry, that reminds me of when Hayao Miyazaki was showing some AI animation, and this is all over the internet, but he's just leaning back and he goes, "I feel this is an insult to life itself." And all these guys were like in awe of Hayao Miyazaki, and for good reason, are like, "Oh, he put all this work into it and he hated it."
No. Sorry. Well, you're not gonna get thousands of Sontarans and thousands of British soldier extras onto a battlefield,
especially during COVID. Yeah,
exactly. So this is what you got to do, and it looked great. And you know what? They use those shots sparingly. Like this, here you go. There's your big first battle. There's your battle shot. That's all you need. You don't need to have 5 minutes of that. You're not telling that story. You're telling the story.
And honestly, like Avengers Endgame cost, I don't know, umpty $1 billion, and yet they kind of had the one big shot and then went to the cuts to the close guys, which makes sense. You have to do that, right? But that, you know, it doesn't matter what scale you're at. If you have nothing but long shots of a bunch of people running at each other, it gets boring quick.
It does, and you know, Doctor Who is always been good at using their effect shots sparingly, and man, there are some damned impressive ones in this one. Like the Sontaran ships at the docks in Liverpool,
that looks great.
Are staggeringly good. Like there's that drone shot as Dan's climbing up the crane or something like that, and the camera just sort of like swings around. It's obviously a drone, but like there's Sontaran ships in the background that are also like, you know, they're moving with it, and it's just like this is, what do you mean Disney money? Like, we didn't need Disney money to make this show look good. It already looked great.
Matt Smith drove up the Shard on a motorcycle. Come on, return with a V.
Right. Anyway, most of the stuff was like basically all these grim, awful shots. There's one great shot of Jodie Whittaker coming to the camera though, and the camera's focused on her eyes. And she sort of just walks into focus. I just love that shot.
I have a note that says Stone loves an out of focus reveal, and he really does, and he's good at them. So why not?
Yeah, I love those shots.
The first thing I had on my list for War of the Sontarans was after Dan and Yaz disappear, there's a tracking shot and then a handheld camera shot going around the TARDIS as she's looking for the non-existent door, which is very nice.
Reminded me of Homer when he's having his chili pepper freak out, trying to talk to Marge, and it's just there's no face on her.
There's
so
no face, just the hair
running around. Reminded me of that shot.
You know, I've never seen that episode under the influence of chili peppers. Maybe I should try.
Give it a go. Give it a go, Warren. After that, watch episodes 3, 5, and 6 of Flux and tell us how you do.
Oh boy. I think I'll just have a nap at that point.
Yeah. Might be your come down after that. You know, honestly, the effects stuff, I miss D-Nig. I mean, you know, obviously Jamie Magnus Stone wasn't there at the computer making these things, but he said,
he's
like,
probably approving these shots.
Yeah,
right? So.
Here's what I want. Can you make this thing look like this? And like, I love the priest triangles were great. Like, there's I think the first shot of them when they're talking to, I guess it would be Vinder. I guess would be the first person who would meet them, and like just when it sort of like comes closer to the camera, it goes out of focus. Like, I had to think about, that's a CG thing. That's not actually in the shot right now. It's something that they put in later, but they've actually made to react with the camera lens that's shooting the actual real life scene. It just meshes together superbly. DNEG's work is great all across the Whittaker era. They do great work.
I guess I don't know who's in charge of this, but boy, oh boy, does that era love a particle shot or giant particle things flying at people.
Yeah.
Disintegrating energy fields, that kind of stuff. That's kind of bread and butter.
Yeah, that's true. They do like that sort of stuff, don't they? Yeah.
Especially the dissolution of people. Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. Which happens in Halloween Apocalypse, where it's a very grim guard disintegration of the person from Division.
Yeah. A little bit like the snap from that Avengers movie that they do.
Which, particle stuff can only get so good, and that's about as good as it gets. It's like, hey, turn to dust, and that's that. And actually, if I may go back, there's a scene in Interview with the Vampire, which is 1994, where Claudia, which is Kirsten Dunst in her first role, and somebody else, they're both vampires, and they're stuck in this well, and the sun comes at them, and she falls apart in flakes, and honestly, it still looks good.
Really?
Yeah, it still looks pretty damn good, especially when you think that's 1994. That's a Silicon graphics machine catching on fire doing that.
Or a video toaster, perhaps.
It's not a video toaster. Your video toaster crusade is noted and dismissed.
On their Amiga computer when they made it.
This ain't Babylon 5 here, or Sequest DSV. This is Interview the Vampire. It's classy. Neil Jordan doesn't truck with any video toasters.
Yeah,
I don't know why I became
Speaking of Tom Cruise, I guess, yeah.
Looking through your monocle at your admonishing of Commodore 64
but I just
visual.
remember at the time seeing that and going, that's a great effect.
Just because this is utterly appropriate of nothing other than you bringing up Interview with the Vampire, Jacob Anderson, Vinder.
There we go.
Is
he's in it, isn't it?
Phenomenal in the TV version.
Never seen the TV. I've heard it's great.
He is so great.
Well,
is he, what's his name, the main guy?
Yeah, he's the Brad Pitt.
Not Lestat, the other
Brad Pitt character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lewis, that's his name. Anyway, I have one other note, which has got nothing to do with directing. I love the line, "Are you expecting a response to your musings?" I laughed out loud when he said that.
Right. Yeah. Chris, did you have any shots on any notes on the directing work of this?
No, not that we haven't already covered. No.
Okay. It looks good. There we go.
It does. They all look really good.
All the wars look great. I love the shots revealing Sontarans on a horse, and just those shots that combine the Sontaran ships with the docks just blew me away.
Yeah.
And they're obviously the people that make Doctor Who realized that Jamie Magnus Stone was some found talent, because they actually put together like a 5-minute video on him for the box set. I think it went on YouTube at the time as well. And I love, the scenes where Dan and Carvanista are basically, going through the escape tube there to get off the ship and stuff. That's literally just a tube with some lights on it, and they're just pulling them across on like a skateboard, essentially like that.
That's the beauty of film, just complete fakery. And the lower tech, the better.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, when you get Dan's reaction to the fact it was the waste tube. So, he sold it.
He did.
I do have one other note I just noticed, which is good angle on the slingshot. When she slingshots that Sontaran, I just like the way they shoot that.
That's true. Just like, which just leans back there. Yeah.
It just kind of sort of goes kind of down the barrel of the slingshot, without being too subtle, too direct about it, like right to camera or something.
Yeah.
It just kind of works.
It does. Yeah.
It's a little off kilter.
Yeah, I think he really understands her Doctor, I think. Just sort of really just gets her energy and sort of matches it with his direction. I think that's always a good thing,
One thing I noticed about these, because I hadn't watched a bunch of Jodie stuff in a long time, is everybody else knocks normal, and she walks like just this weird lope that cannot be... It's kind of like Peter Davison in his run. It's just, you cannot reproduce that weird run she's got.
I know, like, I always saw, like, it's because of the boots? Like, the boots are just kind of clunky and clumpy, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like a kid in snow pants. When, like...
Right, just like
she just. I'm not saying that to denigrate. It's great. It's just I just noticed it's very striking.
Yeah, it is her. It's like she's having to walk like fill actual steps that are wider than her gait, and she has to kind of like she doesn't walk normally. She walks,
but it conveys her weirdo enthusiasm. It's like, oh, that's something strange. I'm gonna go check it out.
Yep, there's a genuine quirk that I think I underestimated at the time, and I appreciate more now. I'm telling you, kids, go back and watch the Jodie Whittaker era. This Miniscope has just made me reevaluate that whole era completely.
Well, there's a reason she's my second favorite modern Doctor. So
wow, I choose not to rank them after Peter
Yes,
Capaldi, of course. After Peter Capaldi, of course, they can all.
I didn't invent the term "humiscuous" out of thin air.
Yeah.
Come on,
they can all fight for second best. Well, there we both all like War of the Sontarans. We think it's great. Is that the general consensus on this one?
I wanted to ride a horse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's
again, nothing to do with Stone. This is beyond a prior, but just the casting of the general and the casting of Mary Seacole and everyone was just so great. Dan Starkey is back for crimini's sake. So.
Yeah, I know. As a humorist, but not like Strax Sontaran. I've always wondered, can he do it? Can he go back after having been so iconic as Strax? And he does, thankfully. Yeah.
And the Sontarans are a little more they're not totally played for laughs. You can't not play them for laughs a little bit, but they are a little more savage in this, which I kind of liked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I remember at the time thinking, well, Mary Seacole got really shortchanged, and she kind of did, but I just appreciated her more this time. Maybe because there wasn't as much hype around Mary Seacole being in it.
Right. Mm-hmm. She has stuff to do. I thought she had a pretty good, they basically shout down that general of the army, and then he.
Yeah.
There is a line there, which I was odd. When he blows up the thing, he says, "This is for my men," but it's quite clearly it's an overdub. We don't actually see him say that.
Oh yeah.
And then 30 seconds later, he says, "I did that for my men." And again, yeah, I know you did. So some producer somewhere says, "Just a second, we have to give him reason to do that," even though he says that reason in 30 seconds. We have to tell him now. Yeah. Sometimes producers and their requests for overdubs are counterproductive.
Sometimes producers, you can just say that.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I also said another well-made cliffhanger, and I'm trying to think what was the cliffhanger to this episode?
That's a good question. I can't remember. I saw it a few days ago.
I know. Oh, it was the big countdown, of course, because they're going to be 5 through. The swarm is going to snap his fingers or something like that, and that'll be it for. And that was it. And I thought they built up that really nicely. Really like the costume design of Swarm and Azure, and rather famously, the passenger was going to have a very similar design to him, and then for some reason, literally at the last minute, they changed it. So Ray Holman had to go on Amazon.
Yeah, and you have that mask.
And find a mask to have passengers look sufficiently alien enough, and I found that mask, and I own it. And so that is one of my very few screen accurate props from Doctor Who.
Just like anybody else who ordered it.
Exactly. Yeah, I bet you probably a few people did. So, well, is that it for that one then? You want to talk about Village of the Angels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move along.
Village of the Angels. It's great. It's just
I just to rank things again, I think after Time of it, Blink's kind of off in its own little world here, in a bunch of different ways. But I think Time of Angels, that two-parter is absolutely solid, no question about it. My favorite Angel story. It's probably number 2, and not by a lot less.
No, it's so good. It's what
the kills, they're not kills, but in horror films, especially slashers, how you rank things is the kills, right? Mm-hmm. And there's some the different new ways you've done stuff, and they've done interesting new stuff with the Angels here. That's what I love about it.
Yeah,
especially when at the end of the tunnel, when the Doctor's trying to escape, and the Angels don't start chasing her.
I know.
That's
different.
Great. Yeah. But that's when they come out of the TV, just the hand comes out of the TV. That's a great shot.
Oh.
It's got the TV static around it, and then there's the one projecting off the paper.
I know, and it's on
the one that's on fire. Yeah.
Oh,
the one on fire looked fantastic.
It did.
And even at the end, with just where they do the circle move around and she transforms into an angel, it's really well done.
Oh, God. I remember at the time, this one just floored me. It was so good.
I think it's my favorite of the bunch of Flux.
Oh, easily. I think it's easily my favorite. Yeah.
I've got a handful of notes here, but I was to talk about one of my favorite shots, and this is literally the oldest trick in the book. But when quote unquote Claire walks into the bathroom,
yes, I was about to say the exact same thing.
Goes up to the mirror.
Oh yeah.
That's not a mirror. That's just the Claire actress on the other side of the wall. Yeah. A different actress has walked into the room.
It works.
And it is so good, so effective.
Well, not just that. You've got that gap and the visual gap in the mirror, and every horror fan knows, oh, something's going to happen, and they know that you know that, and they play with it. And then when she comes back up and she's got the wings, it's not what you expected, so it's very effective.
I know.
Yeah.
All like so many in-camera tricks. Like Rachel Talalay would have been like really happy with a lot of the stuff because she's very famous for doing a lot of these too. Because of course she grew up as a director through the horror movie franchise.
Yeah, she worked
system.
on every Freddy film, from production assistant to directing the last one.
Yeah, and Chris Chibnall basically told him, hammer horror, Doctor Who. And he says, Kate, got it. Like he knew instantly what he was, like what the feel and the tone and what kind of shots he was going to get for this, like just instantly, just like that. What's called a boroscope lens, gets all those like extreme close-ups because it's basically this like imagine like a shotgun mic, if you will, like this big giant tube, and there's a lens on the end of it, and so that's how they could get like right close up to Kevin McNally's eye, and when they're like writing notes down and stuff like that, like all these really like extreme close-up shots, he got that special lens in for those.
Well, and the tilt up from the lie detector up to Claire's
out.
face, that's great too.
Yeah. What you say, Chris? Sorry.
Oh, Claire with the dust coming out of her eye.
That too, and
or even just dust coming onto like the couch or whatever, the furniture, and she's just kind of casually brushing it off, like little bits like that.
Yep. I just thinking about the resolution of the cliffhanger, because apparently the angels had the phone box. Get it? At the end of the previous episode. I love that they, first off, I love when Jodie Whittaker sort of like reaches into each sort of door handle there, and both times the camera zooms. I love a camera zoom. They used to be ubiquitous. They happen so infrequently now that whenever a cameraman does a zoom, I stand up and cheer because I love zooms. And then she puts it together. It says, okay, when I say blink, blink, and then it's a blink, and then they do a 3-way split screen, and they all blink at the same
that's
time.
in my notes too. Yeah, the split screen, that's beautiful.
Yep.
I made the same note as well, because like they're all standing beside each other. There's absolutely no need for the split screen, but he does it.
That's
anyway.
why my note says split screen, baby.
It looks so awesome. I love split screens and I love zooms.
Utterly pointless, but it stands out.
It does.
Speaking of zooms, Stephen, there's a scene, I don't know if you've probably seen Eyes Wide Shut, where there's a big, Tom Cruise isn't, just to speak about him again, is in big trouble with this weirdo hedonist. And this one woman is trying to rescue him. So she's up on this balcony and she says, no. And there's a big 70 zoom up to her. And I swear I came this close in the theater, just raising my fist. Yeah, zoom.
All this giant orgy going on. And you're the one that going, no, it really.
No, but the camera move, everybody. The camera move. Come on. Where's your priorities, people?
Exactly. Oh gosh. Anyway,
speaking of camera moves, I'll throw another one out there. The camera pan from 1901 to space to 1967.
Yeah. Oh my god! Yeah, I had that in my notes too. Yeah,
and just how weird and alien all that Inception type, like right angles to everything is.
Yeah. Maxine Alderton wrote "Haunting of Village Diodati." This, along with Chris Chibnall, I imagine Chibnall sort of came in and wrote a bunch of the connecting stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Which is probably why a lot of the script was kind of late, is my guess. And she's done like 4 episodes of All Creatures Great and Small and Emmerdale. And that is it. And that's a shame. That is a damn shame.
More horror, please. Make a horror movie.
Man, she has written 2 bona fide classic Doctor Who stories of 2. Her 2 contributions to Doctor Who are my favorite 2 Jodie Whittaker episodes. Damn.
And they're both intense horror, and I would love to see her do like some sort of her own horror movie.
Yeah. Because she clearly gets it. She clearly gets it. It's this episode's great. It's just great. Anyway, I just like all the shots of the Weeping Angels. Like what's that Scarecrow doing there?
Really
like,
thought those out. Yeah,
and in the background they sort of like and like with all those shots being like, you can tell that they are not cheating, that they are doing in-camera effects when the camera sort of like over there and they pan across here and then they cut back. They don't even cut back. They swing back. And the Weeping Angels right there. And you know that they have not cheated on that. They are doing that in real time, in camera. And that's what makes those effects.
Like that whole thing, like it's an all-time classic with the Angels of like you look away and they look back and they're closer. I mean, many horror things have done that, but they somehow pull off every time, including this one.
Yeah. Yeah, they up the game. Like it's so hard for, especially, this isn't Moffat doing this. This isn't Adam Smith, the director who did the first one. These are new directors to the Weeping Angels and new writers to the Weeping Angels. And hats off to Steve Moffat, I guess, for creating a monster so iconic that it doesn't need the hand-holding of the original creator to make them creepy. Like, they are creepy enough on their own that's an entire new set of hands can make them great too.
I still say that's the only that I can think of new series monster that still is is part of the pantheon, to not to misuse the term. Of like the classic monsters. That is that is the modern series version of that. And I don't know if I can think of any others really.
Well, the Grand Serpent, naturally.
Of course, or the Slitheen.
Slitheen, or the Blathery.
Yeah, because, all the other, the Jadoon are sort of kind of played as laughs. The Slitheen
Silence,
are kind of
maybe, but even then.
Yeah, in the Silence, you kind of forget about them as you're intended to.
Well, you don't, at least we don't get the Costco Silence, which is the monks.
That's true. Faster to Ride, I suppose, too. We're all naming Stephen Moffat things, notice. Which is interesting.
Moffat was very prolific with that stuff.
Yeah, sure was.
He was very, very good at taking the mundane, like the crack on the wall, for crying out loud, like the crack in his son's bedroom, and now that's all of a sudden a through line for a whole season of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if you're talking about the domestic part, RTD excels at that. Like, we can't really, he is the best at that.
Even then, I might debate you with think of like Dinosaurs on a Spaceship or The Power of Three.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Which I guess technically neither are Moffat scripts.
Two Chibnalls. Yeah.
Two Chibnalls.
Yeah, and to be fair, Chibnall with Yaz's family, that stuff's good. So
yeah, I think so too. Dan has no family, thankfully, so we don't have to worry about a backstory for him.
Well, his mom and dad.
Dan has his mom and dad.
They're trading Sontaran beating.
They give him the walk.
That's true. Yeah.
They taught him how to walk.
Walk before you can run.
I do have a random note, which is consent with a mind meld. What a concept.
She finally learned.
Because yeah, like the doctor previously just grabbed somebody's brain and jump inside. I'm like, that ain't cool, bro.
Yeah, and those shots are so creepy because it's like, really dark blue and gray, and like they're both standing on a coast that like the water's coming into each other. Like
the note, well, two things stand out for me. Number one was the when they're in Claire's mind and they're at the sea, the shoreline, whatever. The amount of wind and wet hair and all that tells you that entire scene is definitely going to be ADR.
Oh yeah.
But even beyond that, from a more practical or whatever standpoint, when they're in the basement of Jericho's house, and they're doing the mind meld thing, and Claire and the doctor are both just perfectly still, and you got Jericho kind of like walking around and trying to stop the angels and whatever he's doing, but they're just there, and I just like that they sell that so well.
They do, yeah. I like that. Like, they might not light them from swinging light bulbs, but they're swinging light bulbs in the basement, and it causes such a great effect when you see the light from that light bulb swinging along, and that's sort of what indicates that the Weeping Angels have moved. The fact the light bulb moved because they moved but we didn't see them move, and that's kind of freaky. And just like the single light bulbs are always a good horror movie kind of lighting effect.
The stuff on the TV also really is well done.
Yeah.
And speaking of new things in the angel mythos, I mean, them taking Jericho's voice, that was new, is it
cool.
not?
Yeah.
They did for
Time of Angels. They did, yeah.
Time of Angels. They sort of, so that's kind of been
because that guy was dead, though.
Right.
So I mean, they're pretty fast to lose.
Yeah.
My angel rules are: is it creepy? Okay, then I'm going with it.
Yeah, they adapt and all that stuff. But yeah, the creepiest thing that you mentioned earlier, Chris, is like when the doctor runs out and assuming that they're going to be chasing after, and they don't, and that's like all of a sudden that goes, what is going on?
Exactly, especially since seconds beforehand they were being chased.
Yeah,
they were having to be staved off with the looking before the
Because it's established they're jerks. They're jerks. They lie to the doctor about
That's their whole thing.
Yeah, they are just jerks. They're not bent on world domination. We're just jerks. I love it.
Just to put it out there, the last note I had on my list was when when the Doctor is talking to Clara and the assembled angel horde, the camera is all wobbly, very close up, very wobbly, as Stone has done with other stuff in the past that I've pointed out.
Oh, even that just the last.
It just adds a sense of unease.
It does. And then the shot, like when she comes out, she realizes that there's Claire up on top there with the angel next to her, and then the camera like tracks up a crane shot, and and it's at nighttime. God, it's so good at looking at night. But there's angels all along that hill, and they're just standing there, just like, what a shot. And then of course,
and then when they start glowing later on,
God, just some iconic stuff.
Little reminiscent of Nemesis, perhaps, but
Star Trek Nemesis or Silver Nemesis?
I was going to say nothing.
The Nemesis statue.
I see the front
when the metal goes all glowy.
There is nothing iconic about Star Trek Nemesis.
I was going to say, what are you talking about, Nemesis?
What a wet fart of a film.
Yeah, I know. Well, and then there's Star Trek Nemesis. Because Silver Nemesis is not good either, but
that's true. Yes. In fact, I was watching the original Superman and Superman 2 before I watched Superman, and it's edited by Stuart Baird, who directed Star Trek Nemesis. And the thing is, I'm like, he's a very good editor. I think he edited Die Hard and a bunch of other stuff too. But then I saw his name, like, oh, now I know him for Star Trek Nemesis, where the entire cast, including the nicest man in the human race, LeVar Burton, hated him. Yeah. So that's all I think of now.
Mm-hmm. People didn't hate Jamie Magnus Stone, from what everyone says. Loved working with him.
It takes a lot to make LeVar Burton. Reading Rainbow's right? LeVar Burton mad.
I know.
So, and you best believe you're to blame.
If you're making LeVar Burton upset, you are.
It ain't LeVar's fault, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Anyway, Village of the Angels. Damn near perfect. Almost like it almost doesn't deserve to be part of Flux. It deserves to stand. And indeed, very
mostly
little
isn't. I mean,
very little in the way of connective tissue into the. There's the bit about where Belle is rescuing one of the in-betweeners. And that's the one scene also.
That's right. I forgot it was an in-between.
Yeah, that you have to spread out so that that'll pick you up. It's like, okay, that's COVID. That is 100% COVID.
Yeah.
The social distancing on location and stuff.
That bit seemed dropped in because it probably was.
It probably was, Warren. It probably was, because that does feel like a second block kind of thing. Which might have been the case, but I'm not too sure. But it just feels like it is. It just feels like it's sort of like inserted in place to sort of as connective tissue to the rest of the story. But really, it's the Angels bit that everyone talks about this. It just...
And for good reason.
It's really good.
In amongst the VAM for Flux, and you talked about this earlier on, Stephen, there's a directing Doctor Who segment, which, amongst others, features Jamie Magnus Stone. So I'll try to remember to throw that in the show notes so people can watch that.
I suppose it's on YouTube, isn't it?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Illegally too, by the way. It was there to begin
with. The best kind of YouTube, illegal YouTube.
No, legally. I meant
legally. It's posted by the Doctor Who account.
Yeah. I stand by my
legally. Statement. legally. Yeah, it's all there. So, look at that. If Flux was only 3 episodes, it would have been one of the best seasons of Doctor Who ever, because of the 3 that we got to watch this time.
And one of the most confusing.
That too. It wouldn't have made any sense. But it would have been great at the same time.
Just call it The Prisoner. And then you get a good day to you, sir.
Yeah. Well, guess what? All 6 episodes together still don't make any sense. But
nope, not a lick.
If we get Azur Salim in a Miniscope sometime, because he's in there. He directed those 3 episodes, and I don't think they're his fault, but it will be interesting to revisit those sometime in the future. But that will be for another Miniscope, I think. For this Miniscope, we have one more episode to go, and it's only one episode of Doctor Who, but it's a biggin'. It's The Power of the Doctor. Yep, the 100th anniversary BBC centenary episode. Also, the finale for Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall et al. Huge episode, and of course,
boatload of fun.
A lot of fun, and that'll be the subject of our final part of the Jamie Magnus Stone interview. Hope you're enjoying this. Hope you're enjoying, if you're going back and watching these episodes along with us. Hope you're reappraising them if you didn't like them, and just sort of basking them again if you did like them the first time around. So I think the three of us certainly are coming around to them a lot more than perhaps we did back then. Even though I don't think we were that down on the era. I think we
were mostly positive.
Yeah.
With blips like Orphan 55, perhaps.
Well, I believe we were accused of being too positive for Plum BBC con gigs, whatever that means.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think that was that era.
Something like that.
And now we're being accused of not being positive enough. So well, here we go.
You can't win. You just can't win.
You can't win unless you're the Doctor. So next time, anyway, Power of the Doctor, final part. Jamie Magnus Stone, Miniscope. Join us for that. In the meantime, and in between time, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
We're in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.